Hello everyone, and welcome to the live stream. I hope that you're all doing good. Tonight's gonna be an interesting night. I have lots of unfortunate news to talk about. I'm sorry, guys. I was trying my damnedest to look through the sea of news that's released this week that's positive. It's not there. I couldn't really find anything that's positive, unfortunately. I tried. Came, we saw, didn't conquer, couldn't find it. Tonight we're going to be talking about Batwoman. Every week I've been talking about Batwoman because the story just keeps progressing. It keeps getting worse and worse and worse. And now, after announcing Season 3, the latest Batwoman episode has seen their ratings plummet. I think that this shit is hilarious. Batwoman is such a bad show. I don't know who decided that this would be good. I don't know who in their right mind would look at the script and go, oh my gosh, this is good. Truly. Because I can get behind shows that change the lead roles or do something really drastic. But this show, there's just nothing good about it. Besides it being, I guess, being Batwoman. I guess that's kind of cool because Batwoman's a cool character, just not in the show. I don't know. I'm trying to defend it too much. We're going to be talking about CD Projekt Red being hacked. The Cyberpunk source code is being held for ransom. This is a very unfortunate situation. CD Projekt Red just cannot do anything good lately. Nothing good has been happening for them. Their game failed. Well, okay, let me say this. Their game sold extremely well, which is good for them, but their game failed in fans' eyes. It just wasn't the game that a lot of fans wanted. So many people have already ditched the game, abandoned the game, left the game. They don't really care about the game anymore. I'm kind of in the same boat until there's mods or they drastically fix it. I'm kind of all set with Cyberpunk. I really don't have any interest in it at this point right now. Maybe in the future it will be better. Who knows? We're going to be talking about another Anita Sarkeesian topic, which I will be doing a video on this tomorrow. So I'm not going to read through the whole article. I'm going to kind of skim it, give you all a little bit of my day before thoughts. But I'm sure you guys will all be able to tell what my thoughts are on this. Anita Sarkeesian is being a hypocrite. That's the story. Are we surprised? No. Am I disappointed? No. Who cares about Anita Sarkeesian? I don't like to invoke the name Anita Sarkeesian that often, but I did a video on Anita Sarkeesian a couple of days ago. I wanted to do another discussion on Anita Sarkeesian because she is denying her role in harassment of Liana K here on YouTube by Feminist Frequency's nut job audience. So yeah, another Anita Sarkeesian topic. And it's been a mess with Star Wars lately. I feel like every time I say I think Star Wars can get better, it just gets 10 times worse. I think if I keep saying Star Wars one day can get better, Star Wars is just going to implode. I don't think that I can say it anymore because I don't actually think really anymore that Star Wars can get better. I love Star Wars. I want it to get better, but do I think that it's going to get better? I don't necessarily know with the people who are running it. So the Star Wars official Twitter account uses illustration of John Boyega to virtue signal for black representation, ignoring Disney's treatment of actors and characters. Again, another situation of a company being hypocritical. Two hypocritical situations tonight. They literally shrunk his face in the movie posters for China and lessened his role in The Force Awakens to pander to Chinese audiences so that maybe their movie could sell in China. Yet now they're using pictures of him to virtue signal for black representation. It is mind-boggling that companies don't even realize how much bullshit they're doing. Truly, I don't understand. I don't understand how these companies could go, oh, we didn't, what do you mean you're gonna call us out on something we did 2 years ago? Yeah, of course we are. Because it's the same person it relates to the same situation. It's like they think that we're just gonna magically forget about things and they can just do whatever the hell they want. And honestly, I'm so glad that so many people call out companies when they're doing bad stuff just like this, being hypocritical just like this. But welcome in, everyone. I hope your evening is going well. And thank you, Oron, for the $26 donation. Much appreciated. Thank you, thank you. We'll get started on the topics in a minute. The Mandalorian was all they had and now they're going to kill that show. I'm actually thinking about doing a video on that tomorrow as well. 2 videos maybe tomorrow. I'm thinking about talking about that because I think with Gina Carano obviously being fired and Pedro Pascal literally saying his focus isn't on the Mandalorian right now, I think that Disney might nuke the show. I think that they're just going to nuke it. I think that instead of recasting Cara Dune, trying to find a way to play around the fact that they fired Gina Carano, and if they're also losing Pedro Pascal because he's focused on the Last of Us show, which that's fine. You go to that franchise, dude. It's dead. You go ahead. Get out of Star Wars, go to something shittier like The Last of Us. But I do think with him going and focusing on going to focus on The Last of Us and him admitting he's not really focused on the Mandalorian anymore, I just think that I think they might just nuke the Mandalorian, which kind of sucks in a way because I do really like the Mandalorian and I thought that the Mandalorian was very good, but do I want to support the Mandalorian now that they've fired Gina Carano? No, not really. I mean, it sucks because it was a good show, but all of this stuff has happened to the point where, do I really care about it that much now? No. And I know a lot of you guys don't either. I know, Baby Yoda. Well, they could play it off. They could play it off in a way that is like, oh, the main focus of the show was supposed to get Baby Yoda to Luke, and that was it. Like, that's the only story we wanted to tell. We feel that the show is at a good point. It's done. It's over. Like, that's the story. That's it. But who knows if they're gonna go with that. She was fired because of a Kathleen Kennedy tantrum. Those are some really white teeth. Oh, on the actress. What's her name? Javika or Yavika. How do I say her name? Yavika Leslie, I think? I'm just gonna call her Leslie. Why not? Yeah, I don't know why she's smiling like that. She's just pretty happy. Happy that she's ruined another show. The Mandalorian can be about any Mandalorian. Give this series to Katie Sackhoff's Bo-Katan character. She's awesome. I do agree that the show could be about any Mandalorian, but at the same time, it can't be. In a way, because they've established that Din Djarin is the Mandalorian. And that the show was about Baby Yoda and the Mandalorian. They could play it off where it's like another Mandalorian or a group of Mandalorians, but they've got to have something relating to the first 2 seasons. They've got to have something in there, whether it's the Mandalorian, or we know that Cara Dune's gone now, so that can't happen, or Baby Yoda. Maybe they could do it like a play on Baby Yoda, but I don't think that they can keep milking Baby Yoda, because clearly he's with Luke now. We're not gonna see a story where the Mandalorian goes to freaking Tython and takes Baby Yoda back. We're not gonna see that. Unless they completely, like, do a 180. Who knows? Did you know that? Okay. Did you know that Kathleen Kennedy's middle name is Karen? Oh no. Karen Kennedy. It's true, it's true. Can confirm. Can confirm. She's that bitchy aunt that we all really don't like. Yeah. Superman. What about Superman? Superman's cool. Kind of. Sometimes. Not all the time, but sometimes. I never felt like Pedro wanted to be there, more of a stepping stone. The thing is at first it sounded like he kind of wanted to be there, but then as the show progressed and he didn't get as much like creative control as he initially wanted, he got sick of it. That's the thing, is like, I don't think that Pedro Pascal was that worried about The Mandalorian because he didn't get creative control over the project like he wanted, and he was whining and complaining about that for a long time. Yeah, so there's a class action lawsuit being filed against the PlayStation 5 and Sony for Joy-Con, or not, they're not Joy-Cons, they're analog stick drift, but I just want to say that the analog sticks that are in the PlayStation 5 controller were also ones in the PlayStation 4 controller. They didn't change anything regarding the analog sticks. So that's what I don't understand. There is a class action being filed against Sony for the analog stick drift, but they're the same analog sticks that were also in the PlayStation 4 controllers, and the PlayStation 4 controllers never had any reported stick drift. I don't know. I guess we'll see. I don't know if it's gonna hold any legitimacy just because of that. Yeah, I was thinking of Nintendo because Nintendo's been sued so much for Joy-Con drift. It's just what comes to my mind. Analog sticks, the chopsticks on the piece of metal and plastic. Yeah, those. The PlayStation 4 had the same problem. What do you mean? Nope. Nope. What? Did you see the last movie? What last movie? The last movie of what? Nintendo just can't wait to sue? Who's Nintendo suing? Whoa, 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 whoa. There's a possibility that the PS5 is just a fancy PlayStation 4 in a new shell. I mean, very believable theory. Where are the PlayStation games? Can I just say, where are the PlayStation games? Where are the Xbox games? Where are the new video games? Where are they? People are spending money on these pieces of garbage. These stupid paperweights. They're not doing anything. The chopsticks. Analog sticks, Joy-Cons, chopsticks, whatever. Close enough. Confused PC gamer look? Yeah, honestly, I agree. I love my Nintendo Switch. I've never had any drift with it. And I'm not talking Nintendo Speed. Wow. Need for Speed, Nintendo Drift. I'm not talking about that. Need for Speed needs to come back. We need a good Need for Speed game. I've never had any sort of Joy-Con drift with my Nintendo Switch, whether it's the Joy-Cons or the Pro Controller. I've never had drift with PlayStation 4 controllers. I ain't never had drift in a real car. I don't know drift. She's not my friend. Vera, weird question. Who do you think is the sexiest DC man and woman? That is a weird question. Are we talking about, like, characters? Like, comic book characters? Or are we talking, like, people in the DCEU? Like, people who have been put on the big screen. Where are my new video games? I need some new video games. I've been playing a lot of Valheim. Actually, I haven't been. I've played it, like, 4 times. But I've played for, like, hours at a time. Like, for the past couple streams. Last 2 streams were Valheim. That was 7 hours of streams. DC characters? Yeah, DC characters, but are we talking, like, the movies? Like, actual actors who are playing them? Or are we talking about, like, the comic book? Like, actual, if I open up a piece of paper, the comic book with the paper, which I know we don't really do that anymore. It's 2021. Who even reads real paper? But still. Nightwing, obviously. Nightwing's pretty cool. Not gonna lie. Nightwing's actually pretty rad. I really like Harley Quinn as well. Harley Quinn's a cool character when she's not being butchered. Because Birds of Prey was bad. Alright, guys. Let's start with the first topic of the night. How about that? Oh, I'm not ready to talk about Batwoman again. Guys, the past couple of weeks I've been talking quite a lot about Batwoman. Ever since season 2 of Batwoman released, there's been problem after problem, not good information after not good information, okay? Batwoman is bad. The show Batwoman, season 1 was pretty bad. Season 2 is really, really bad. But unfortunately, for the CW, who just announced that Batwoman was going to be getting a season 3, well, the show's still not doing very good. So after announcing season 3, the latest Batwoman episode sees ratings plummet. A little over a week after the CW announced that they had renewed Batwoman for a 3rd season, the ratings and viewership numbers have hit their lowest point in the show's short-lived life. Who would ever look at this show and go, wow, this is really good. We should greenlight another season. Wow. The views for this show, spectacular. People want a season 3. No! People don't want a season 3. Who would ever in their right mind say, let's put money into making a season 3 for this garbage trash tier television series? So the actress who plays her celebrated the news of the renewal on Instagram at the time, and she wrote season 3, baby, I love y'all. Well, y'all, I don't really love her because I'm gonna be honest, her acting's pretty garbage. Not gonna lie. Maybe it's just the writing for this show. But when you've got bad writing, bad cinematography, bad CGI, bad costumes, a bad main lead of actress, there's nothing good about Batwoman. How could this show succeed? How could they expect this show to do better? I don't understand. So it says, of course, renewed Batwoman the CW. Now, the TV series finale reports Batwoman Season 2 Episode 4, Fair Skin Blue Eyes, had a horrific rating of 0.10 for the 18 to 49 demographic. It was almost a 40% drop from Episode 3's 0.16 rating. This show is doing so bad. First of all, I'm surprised that the rating could even drop 40% from the other episode's rating because the rating's already so low. It's at ground level. It is at ground zero. How could it even drop 40%? But not only were the ratings in the 18 to 49 demographic terrible, but viewership plummeted nearly 30% from episode 3 to a 507,000 viewers. So as you can see, this is the season so far. The first episode, it says 0.659 thousand, obviously. It is minus 64% from the last season's last episode. It says episode 2 was demographic change was a 6.67%, and it was 621,000 viewers. Of course, we're dipping down again. Minus 5.77%. Episode 3, same in the demo change. Viewers had gone up a little bit to 708,000, 14% up. And then, episode 4, demo change, negative 37.50%, 507,000 viewers, and the viewer change was negative, which is proper here, negative 28.39%. This show is not doing good. This show can't be saved. I really don't think it can be saved at all whatsoever. This show, the problem is that even look at the name of the episode. Fair Skin, Blue Eyes. All this show is an ode to social justice. All this show is let's make a show just to try to make a political statement. Let's make a show to force a narrative onto people. Let's make a show to not worry about escapism. Nah, because who cares about escapism? I mean, that's totally not why people watch television and movies and entertainment. No. We need to butcher these characters as much as freaking possible to maybe make some money. When are these companies and when is Hollywood gonna realize that no one wants this garbage? Even the people who could get behind the messages this show has don't even care about the show because they're not showing up to watch it. Tiberius Rex said 40% of 0 is still 0. Very true. So it says, looking back at season 1, the 4th episode had a .30 rating in the 18 to 49 demographic, and viewership was at 1.287 million. And then here are the full season 1 numbers. Season 1 did go through declines. Season 1 went from starting at 1.860 million viewers, so almost 2 million viewers, down to 739,000 viewers. Obviously, basically any show, unless it's really, really good, is going to experience drops in viewers and drops in ratings. I completely understand that. But the show never really recovered, and season 2 is doing terribly compared to season 1. Season 1, I watched all of season 1. I really didn't like season 1. I thought that season 1, though, did have a couple of moments that weren't terrible, because I felt like there were moments that weren't all about social justice, force a narrative. But I just think that the story wasn't good and the acting wasn't really that good. But, who's the actress that played Kate Kane? Ruby Rose. Ruby Rose wasn't a good actress. She's not a good actress in my opinion, but she still did a slightly better job than this actress is. I mean, this Leslie actress, she's just, I don't know, maybe it's for me, maybe other people really like her, which if so, you go girl, stick it to the patriarchy, power to you. I just really don't like her acting skills, and I really don't like the character. I don't like anything about Batwoman Season 2, now that I think about it. There's nothing. So it says the Season 2, Episode 4's 18 to 49 demographic rating declined by over 66% compared to Season 1. The viewership numbers percentage decline wasn't far off, and it declined by just over 60%. The show appears to be in a complete free fall when it comes to viewership, with episode 3 being an apparent anomaly. And then here's the here's the ratings, okay, for Rotten Tomatoes. Now, keep in mind, when there's only 17 critic ratings, the number could be very inflated. 88% to an audience score of 18%. There's a little bit of a difference there. It says on IMDb, the weighted average score has stayed static at a 3.4 out of 10, despite having almost 200 more negative one-star reviews out of the 354 total new reviews. And there might be a reason why the show is not only seeing declining audience scores and viewers turning out. YouTuber Yellow Flash states the show is awful. It was awful last year. It's been awful this year. I don't even want to talk about last night's show because it was awful and I couldn't even finish it. I haven't watched the newest episode. I've read what the episode's about. I've kind of listened to people's opinions on it. It sounds like garbage. But the 3 episodes that I saw, it was complete and utter just... oh my gosh, it's fucking garbage. How could anyone watch this show and go, wow, this is good. This is prime real estate. Because it just doesn't exist. The good storytelling. Where is it?
$26.
This good storytelling.
Sheep in the AD.
In the AD?
Laughing face.
You mean in the ad text-to-speech? Thank you, Oron, for the $26 donation. Much appreciated. How could anyone, though, watch Batwoman and go, this show is amazing? I just don't see it. Maybe it's my internalized misogyny coming out. I don't know. I just think that it's not a good story. The acting's not good. The writing's not good. The CGI isn't good. None of it is good at all whatsoever. So that's all that I really had to talk about when it came to Batwoman. Probably next week, guys, there'll be an update. Every Vera After Dark stream, there's always an update to Batwoman. Batwoman's the shit show that just keeps on giving. So I will definitely let you guys know if there's any updates next week when we have our next Vera After Dark stream. And with that being said, we'll move into our next topic in a minute. Not yet, though. In a minute. Stop offending the poor garbage, Vera. It's garbage. A season 3 when the first was a good candidate for canceling. You know, I think that bad shows can turn around. Let me just say that. I think that sometimes shows do need opportunities to change. Sometimes shows need... Sometimes... You have to replace writers or actors, and then it clicks. I don't think that it's gonna click. I don't think the click exists here. It probably is your internalized misogyny, probably. My internalized misogyny is at an all-time skyrocketing freaking high tonight, guys. How dare you think independently? What is wrong with you, Vera? I know. Burn me at the stake. Ooh, steak sounds good. To this date, the only good Batwoman adaptations have been Mystery of Batwoman and Bad Blood, at least in my opinion. I feel like Batwoman's just a character that's never done properly. I don't know why. Who is Batwoman and what does she do? She does stuff. She steals Bruce Wayne's identity and kicks some ass. Fights crime and is a warrior of the justice of social. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I'm not even gonna say what I just thought of. I'm not even gonna say what I just thought of. Nope, not even gonna say it. Not even gonna do it. Not even gonna do it. Okay, you know how we have the Justice League? What if we have a league of justice for social warriors, basically? What if we make one? What if we make one and make it to make fun of social justice warriors? Before they can claim it, we claim it. We better do it. Someone better get those trademarks ready. Arkham Knight Batwoman I thought was great. I agree. I actually agree with that. Yeah. Yeah, we need the League of Social Justice quick. But we need to slightly reword it because we ain't wanting no DC coming after us. No, we can't just call it the Social Justice League. We need to call it something slightly different. Play on words. Don't give them ideas. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry, guys. It's gonna happen now. Get it up on Indiegogo fast, fast, fast. Yep. Kind of like the New Warriors with Snowflake and Safe Space. Yeah. I know you'd all love that. I know you guys too well. Yeah, Marvel tried. But they didn't make fun of it. They, like, embraced it. And that's why it didn't succeed or it wouldn't succeed. They didn't even freaking release it. Anyway, guys. The Legion of Social Justice. That's get somewhere, Frank. Write that down. Quick, write it down. Let's move on to the next topic. Now, I've talked about CD Projekt Red a lot over the past couple of months. I was someone who was really excited for Cyberpunk. I thought it was going to come out and be the best game since Grated Freaking Cheese was put on the Atari VCS. I thought that Cyberpunk was going to come out and be really good. Because I've been a big fan of CD Projekt Red in the past. I love The Witcher. I thought that Gwent was pretty fun and pretty cool and pretty fresh. I just had a lot of hope in CD Projekt Red. And we all know that Cyberpunk definitely wasn't the best game it could have been. Cyberpunk released, very mediocre game, tons of bugs, tons of glitches, tons of problems. It needed a lot more work. And we are 2 months after the launch of Cyberpunk, and there's still not any drastic changes to the game. They've definitely fixed problems, but they haven't fixed enough of the problems. But unfortunately for CD Projekt Red, the bad news keeps getting bad because CD Projekt Red has been hacked. Cyberpunk 2077's source code is being held for ransom. So CD Projekt Red's bad past year continues to get worse. The thing with that is that while it was a bad year in terms of press, they still sold tons and tons and tons of copies of Cyberpunk. Keep in mind, there were 2 million copies of Cyberpunk refunded, but they sold like 15 million copies of the game. So while it was a bad year, it's still the best year that they've ever had. But it says CDPR's bad past year continues to get worse. Early this morning, the company announced that it had been the victim of an extensive hack, one that has come with a ransom demand they will not meet, and instead they have turned over all relevant information to the authorities and are taking steps to mitigate the damage. Let me head on over to Tawater real quick. Yesterday, this was on February 9th, so this was a couple of days ago. It says, yesterday we discovered that we had become a victim of a targeted cyber attack, due to which some of our internal systems have been compromised. An unidentified actor gained unauthorized access to our internal network, collected certain data belonging to CDPR's Capital Group, and left a ransom note, the content of which we released to the public. I'm sorry, the ransom note's just, it's a joke. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to say it's okay. I'm not trying to say what they did is alright. But the ransom note's pretty funny, not gonna lie. When I first saw it, I'm like, who faked this? Who put this on Twitter and said that it was a ransom note? And then I saw it coming from CD Projekt Red official. I'm like, oh shit, it's not a joke. It says, although some devices in our network have been encrypted, our backups remain intact. We have already secured our IT infrastructure and began restoring the data. We will not give in to the demands nor negotiate with the actor, being aware that this may eventually lead to the release of the compromised data. We are taking necessary steps to mitigate the consequences of such a release, in particular by approaching any parties that may be affected due to the breach. We are still investigating the incident. However, at this time, we can confirm that to the best of our knowledge, the compromised systems did not contain any personal data of our players or users of our services. We have already approached the relevant authorities, including law enforcement and the president of the Personal Data Protection Office, as well as IT forensic specialists.
For your hoe.
Oh no, the Valheim joke. Thank you for the $5 donation, Chris. Much appreciated. And we will closely cooperate with them in order to fully investigate this incident. Now, listen, okay? First of all, why would anyone want to steal... Okay, maybe a little mean. Why would anyone want to steal CD Projekt Red's information? Why would anyone want to steal Cyberpunk 2077's... I mean... source code, you know what I'm saying? Do you understand? Like, it's shit. The game's bad. Why would anyone want to steal it? And why would anyone want to buy it? I'd look at that and be like, that's overpriced. They're trying to get like $7 million for it or something. Maybe it's worth $40. They're trying to get money out of CD Projekt Red, and I get it. It's shitty. I'm not trying to make a joke out of it because it is very shitty that this is happening to CD Projekt Red. No company deserves to go through this. But this was the ransom note, which I saw people sharing it on Twitter the day that this had happened, and I thought it was funny as hell. I thought this was a joke. It says, "Hello, CD Projekt Red. Your have been especially pwned. We have dumped full copies of the source codes from your performance server for Cyberpunk, Witcher, Gwent, and the unreleased version of The Witcher 3. We have also dumped all of your documents relating to accounting, administration, legal, HR, investor relations, and more. Also, we have encrypted all of your servers, but we understand that you most likely can recover from backups. If we will not come to an agreement, then your source codes will be sourced or leaked online, and your documents will be sent to our contacts in gaming journalism. Your public image will go down the shitter even more, and people will see how shitty your company functions." Again, it's not funny that they were hacked, that they've had information stolen from them. None of that is funny, okay? No company deserves to go through that. I'm not saying that this is happening, okay? I am not accusing CD Projekt Red of doing this. But I've seen a lot of people say that they think that this is fake. I've seen a lot of people say that they think this is a way, basically, to get people on their good side. This is kind of something they're doing to make people go, oh, poor CD Projekt Red. It's very hard for a company to prove that they were hacked or that they are being blackmailed. And it's very hard as a consumer to deny that this is happening and also not feel bad for them. Like, my instant reaction, like you guys see, is, wow, this really freaking sucks for them. I don't support this at all. So I've seen people say that maybe it's all just for clout. It's to get on people's good sides, get the attention off of Cyberpunk and get it on to them and the company we once loved. I'm not saying that they faked it, but I know a lot of people have said they think that they faked it. Which, we've seen bad companies do stuff like that. We have. Bad companies do bad stuff all of the time. They try their best to get attention for things. But I'm not saying that they did that. Or did this. It says, while they say that they believe no customer information was leaked, the potential extent of the damage is large, particularly if the hackers release the information they claim to have, which is all summed up in the following ransom note that I thought, at least for a moment, was a parody, but it's not. I agree. I thought that it was a parody. I thought that it was like a joke. I didn't believe it. Publicity stunt? I see a couple of you guys saying that you think it's a publicity stunt, and I think that a lot of people are very mixed with it. But I already read it. I don't need to read it again. Haha, you got fucking pwned. It says, CD Projekt Red has empathetically said that they will not meet any demands, even if that means the release of this info from confidential documents to the source codes of their games. The tone of this note clearly paints the action as retaliatory for the botched release of Cyberpunk, which has stirred a fair amount of anger among fans, as before this, CDPR was a beloved developer who could practically do no wrong after the release of The Witcher 3. Even now, I'm reading responses that range from, well, they had it coming, to couldn't have happened to a nicer studio. Some even, like it says, accuse CDPR of faking the situation to garner sympathy after the Cyberpunk launch debacle. Paul Tassi, who is a Forbes writer, who I do think puts out decent articles. I don't think that his articles are the worst most of the time. said, I can't get on board with any of this. He can't get behind any of this. While CDPR has had a trust problem as of late, I think there's a difference between hiding the performance of a game on a last-gen console and inventing an elaborate hack out of thin air to gain sympathy. Nor do I think that the company deserves this, as this could potentially release sensitive information about employees, not to mention the sensitive information. Oh, I already read that, sorry. I was a line back. Not to mention the time spent dealing with the fallout of this hack means even more delays from the actual fixes and new content Cyberpunk needs. The full scope of the damage from this could be massive when all is said and done, but no one benefits from it. It's a terrible situation all around, and I do really agree with this. I think that this is a terrible situation all around. I do think it was a little bit funny the way that it was announced. They're showing this Word document that's got no proof behind it. It did look funny. I thought it was a joke at first. It's not a joke though, and it's not funny to have a company being hacked. And for that information to potentially get out, because even though Cyberpunk wasn't a good game, it wasn't the game we all thought it was going to be, that doesn't mean that the employees deserve to be dragged through the mud. That doesn't mean that the employees deserve to be, you know, having private information about them being released. And they did try their best. It wasn't just the employees of CD Projekt Red and specifically Cyberpunk's project that did wrong. It wasn't just them who didn't get the game done in a way. It was also the executives and the high-ups at the company who said, we need to release it now. We don't care that the game isn't done in your opinion. We need to make money as fast as possible. But that's all that I really had to discuss with the situation. It was a couple of days old, which one or two of you pointed out in chat, but I only do these streams once a week. I didn't make a video about it. I wanted to cover it, and I think that it is important. I personally don't think that it was a joke or like a ploy. I don't really think that this was like some sort of situation they created themselves. I don't think that this was like to take away from Cyberpunk to gain sympathy, but at the same time, I wouldn't put it past a company to create a situation for sympathy. I don't think that CD Projekt Red would do that because they have been a good company up until Cyberpunk, but who knows? But I'm not going to accuse them of that at all whatsoever. So with that being said, we're going to move on to the next topic in just a minute, which is Anita freaking Sarkeesian. Are we surprised? No. No, we're not. No, we're not. I agree, anime manga fan. I don't think that they should have released a date for Cyberpunk. I think if they had kind of kept it quiet on Cyberpunk and they had just kind of said it will release soon, we need more time with Cyberpunk, and then they took a couple of months, people wouldn't have been as mad. You're going to get those people who are going to refund the game, that are going to be a little bit upset that the game's not releasing when they said it was going to. But I think that people would have been happier with a game, obviously, that came out and was at better quality than a game that came out that was really shitty. That's the biggest problem for me, is that they kept rushing these release dates, but it wasn't up to the developers. It was up to the people at the top of the food chain that do no wrong. You know, it was by the people who say we need to make as much money as fast as possible. Yeah. Who? Anita Sarkeesian? Who? Come on, you guys know who Anita Sarkeesian is. I talked about Anita Sarkeesian in my last video. I've talked about her in the past, where she's like, said boob armor is bad because it's objectifying women, which I don't know if she expects fictional women to suck their boobs in or something, but boob armor is to protect the boobs. I could see EA doing this, or BioWare. I could see an EA or a BioWare doing it, yeah. But Anita Sarkeesian, I talked about her in my last video. I think that I'm going to make a video on this topic tomorrow, so I'm not going to read through this whole article. But tomorrow I should be doing a video on it as well, because this really pisses me off. We know, we wish we just didn't. Okay, I agree. Yeah. I wish I didn't. I wish Anita Sarkeesian could have been a more positive influence in the gaming industry. Because Anita Sarkeesian made herself a platform by being negative and toxic to the gaming industry. Anita Sarkeesian could have been the hero we needed, but she wasn't, because she's not a hero at all in any capacity. We need more good female figures in the gaming industry. I'm not shilling for myself. Don't get it twisted. I'm not saying I'm the hero we need. I'm just saying we need better females in the gaming industry besides Anita Sarkeesian. Because she sure as hell doesn't represent women like me. Yeah, guys, please donate. I need $30,000 for a Discord server. Guys, please donate. I'm gonna start a fake TV show. I'm gonna start a fake TV show where I put up a couple of YouTube videos and need tons of money. How much did Anita need for her like web series that she was gonna start that ended up being a couple of YouTube videos? How much money did she ask for that shit? A lot of money. Vera, the hero we need. The hero you don't want, but you get. Sorry, guys. The thing with Anita Sarkeesian, and I've seen people comment like you shouldn't give her the attention she craves, and I agree. But at the same time, how are you not gonna call out situations like this? For me, this is a clear as day situation that I'm gonna call out. Anita Sarkeesian being a hypocrite and denying. I can't. Okay, we'll get into it in just a second. Because I can't explain the situation without going off on a tangent about the situation. And a trip to Turkey? Ooh, honey turkey. Delicious. It was just the money for the Discord server? No, she needed other money. 125k seems low. Seems low, guys. Gotta bump that up. 150, 160. Anita Sarkeesian, you know? She needs that money. She needs it very badly.
Christopher donated $5.
Hey, thank you for the $5
Anita
donation.
blows.
Wow. Very intellectual words. Very intellectual thoughts there. Very big brain. Thank you for the $5 donation, Christopher. Much appreciated. Alright, guys. Let's get into this topic. Like I said, I'm going to be doing a video about it tomorrow. So, I might hold back a little bit. Nah, I'm not going to hold back. Anita Sarkeesian is a hypocrite. Anita Sarkeesian makes sexist posts on social media. Anita Sarkeesian attacks innocent people online just because of their gender. Anita Sarkeesian says men do everything wrong and women can never do anything right. Anita Sarkeesian is a woman that I do not like. She is just a woman that I think has done much more harm in the gaming industry than she has done positive. She has not helped the gaming industry grow in a healthy fashion. And she is once again proving her hypocrisy. Because Anita Sarkeesian hypocritically denies role in harassment of Liana K by Feminist Frequency audience. Feminist Frequency has some crazy fans, and so does Anita Sarkeesian. Anita Sarkeesian doesn't foster very healthy communities, I feel like, because she doesn't promote a lot of very positive things. But it says, after asserting that internet personalities have control over their followers and should be held responsible for their actions, Anita Sarkeesian has hypocritically denied that neither she nor the audience of her website, Feminist Frequency, ever played a role in the harassment of YouTuber and popular nerd personality Liana K. So on February 13th, Sarkeesian took to her personal Twitter account to author a lengthy thread in which she sought to discuss the relationship between fans and influencers/streamers. We're not even talking about a post from months ago or an opinion she had from months ago. It's not like months ago she said that we need to address the relationship between influencers and streamers and fans, and, you know, people, influencers, or should be held responsible for what their fans do. We're talking about just a couple of days. We're talking about like a couple of day gap. We're not talking about months ago, a year ago, maybe she had this opinion, because I think that everyone deserves to have the chance to change. People change all of the time. It's about being human. You can't change that drastically in 2 days, though. So she decided to tweet out, "We need to talk about the relationship between fans and influencers/streamers. A lot of y'all claim that an influencer has no control over their fans and cannot be held responsible for what their fans do. This is inaccurate." She then noted, granted, these are probably the same people who claim that media has no influence on us, so I don't know why I'm bothering, but here goes nothing. Influencers create the culture of a space, whether that's comment sections, social media, Discord, Twitch, Twitter, etc. They consciously and unconsciously share their views and fans and participate because of those shared values, or they learn to share them. In a particularly typo-ridden attempt to demonstrate a clearer example of this dynamic, she then presented an unrelated negative example of the phenomena based heavily in critical race theory, equating influencer culture to how a workplace filled with all-white male leadership could foster a culture of toxicity for their marginalized employees. She said, so for a clearer example, in a workplace, all white male leadership who are not familiar with the experiences of their marginalized employees, nor are they willing to learn, tend to have much higher toxicity and animosity in the workplace. It's not a surprise that video game companies whose leadership holds toxic values and the games themselves perpetuate those values also seem to have the most toxic fans and community. Wow. I did talk about this, but what a freaking hot take from Anita. I disagree with so much of Anita's takes. I do not think that most of Anita's takes are anywhere on this earth. So she said there is no this is no different from streamers and influencers. Studies show that if a streamer uses oppressive language, their chat is also likely to use that same oppressive language. They have been given permission that this is a community where racist, sexist, ableist language is okay. Oh, Anita. She went on to say, in Ninja's case, as one of the biggest streamers of all time, his constant insistence that he will not stream with women signals his values. He can deny this all he wants, but he is signaling to his audience that women are inferior, not good at games, and not worthy of his platform. This is not the case at all whatsoever. She is trying to paint Ninja as a sexist. She called Ninja a sexist. I completely disagree with this. I don't like Ninja that much. Let me be completely clear on that. I don't really like Ninja's content, but that doesn't mean that I'd call him a sexist or any type of disgusting name, a misogynist, just because he has his own opinions. Ninja had made it clear quite a while ago that he didn't want to stream with female content creators on a normal basis because he said it was disrespectful to his wife. He said that basically he wanted to stay away from streaming with women as much as possible because people get the wrong ideas. People will say, are you two together? Or, oh my gosh, you two make such a cute couple now. I'd like to say I disagree with this opinion of his. I do not agree with Ninja's opinion. I do think that it's a really lame stance to take, that he doesn't want to stream with females, that he won't let females stream with him unless they're under very specific circumstances. But I respect his choice to make. It's his platform. He can make that choice if he wants. I respect his kind of reasoning because he wants to respect his wife. Again, I think it's a pretty lame stance to take. I don't really agree with it, but I respect the fact that he gave his own opinion. He said, this is my platform. I'm going to do what I want with it. And that's his choice. And I also want to point out with Anita, she just... The thing with Anita is that she doesn't use any facts or evidence to back up her claims. She doesn't explain the ninja situation in full. She doesn't give any sort of facts or lead to any sort of data to back up where she's saying, like, all of this basically. Studies show that, you know, if a streamer uses oppressive language, their chat is going to use the same oppressive language. Where are the receipts, Anita? Where's the evidence? Does she not know what evidence is? If she could give the evidence, I'd take her words a little bit more seriously, but she didn't even do that. She couldn't even copy and paste a link because it doesn't probably exist. But it says, despite Sarkeesian's sinister insinuations, Ninja, of course, has stated multiple times that he prefers to stream with female personalities in group settings rather than just one-on-one out of respect for the marriage to his wife. Okay, that's his choice. It's his platform. He can do what he wants with it. That doesn't mean that he's some sexist, misogynistic, toxic piece of garbage. But in response to Sarkeesian's assertions that those with a significant following were responsible for any instances of harassment perpetuated by their followers, Liana had written, I guess this is an apology for the years of harassment I've received from feminist frequency fans. I accept, now please get them to stop. And Anita Sarkeesian, she always responds in the worst way possible. She never just helps a situation, clears up a situation. No. Anita just makes everything 10 times worse. So a frequent... I love the puns. So a frequent critic, no pun intended, of both Sarkeesian's feminist frequency website and the activist's general rhetoric towards the gaming community, Kersner, I think that's how you say your last name, has been outspoken on the topic of Sarkeesian's supporters and their harassment against her for years, with the YouTuber and cosplayer even writing in the 2015 piece for the now defunct pop culture news outlet Meta Leader. I think that's how you say that. Oh my gosh, I literally can't read. That the fact that I've been writing about issues related to women in games before Anita Sarkeesian even started her Kickstarter has been declared irrelevant, as Sarkeesian's fans mercilessly bully any dissenters, myself included. People that follow feminist frequency and Anita Sarkeesian are just, they're crazy. I don't call people crazy often. They're crazy. So, in 2018, she had tweeted a comparison between people who have told their followers to stop harassing people with dissenting views and people who have not told their followers to stop harassing people with dissenting views, observing that individuals such as Sargon of Akkad and Jordan Peterson belonged to the former category and Sarkeesian to the latter. The same year, she highlighted one of the many instances of the feminist frequency audience's disingenuous attacks, stating, criticize feminist frequency, get labeled an MRA/transphobe. Now, taking note of Liana's response to her lengthy Twitter thread about influencers, Sarkeesian reposted a screenshot of the YouTuber's tweets, albeit with personal details blocked out, and stated that she was absolutely floored by this tweet. In a baseless and misogynistic accusation, Sarkeesian wrote that she had directly fanned the flames of Gamergate's misogyny. Oh my gosh. I can't. Anita, what are you doing? She said, I'm absolutely floored by this tweet. This person, not pointing out who it is or anything, not even trying to clear up the situation at all, says this person directly fanned the flames of Gamergate's misogyny by playing the cool chick okay with sexism and has profited off of positioning herself as, well, basically not me, a woman in games who tells men that loving sexism is a-okay. Ironically, despite herself, Ironically, despite her self-aggrandizing assertion that anyone with a significant following do not get to simply throw their hands up and say, well, I didn't directly tell them to harass anyone and therefore I am not responsible, Sarkeesian proceeded to do just that, dismissing Liana's claims of harassment by claiming that she did not have any recollection of ever actually referring to her publicly or even acknowledging her existence. This is such an ironic situation. Wow. What a coinkydink. Truly, what a freaking coinkydink. It says the deep irony and delusion of this tweet is that she did the very thing. It says that she did this thing she's accusing me of. And unsurprisingly, Sarkeesian limited who could even reply to both of these tweets to only the people she follows, and those mentioned directly in the tweet, of which she is the only one. Not only did Anita Sarkeesian have a terrible take, but Anita Sarkeesian also couldn't deal with the fact that people were gonna disagree with her. So she, of course, locked the post, made it so only specific people could respond to it, hoping that it wouldn't pick up, hoping that people wouldn't be upset with her post. Absolutely ridiculous by Anita Sarkeesian. That's all that I really have to say on this right now. I am going to cover this in a video tomorrow. But it's just, it's disgusting that Anita Sarkeesian is being a hypocrite once again. And the thing is that she can't even have an intelligent conversation about it because Anita locked the thread. She can't be an adult and address the situation when just days before she was saying how people should be held responsible for their fans, she now is saying, I don't need to be held responsible for what my fans do. What irony in life. Life is filled with jokes. We're living in a clown world. We live in a society. Talk about living in a bubble / echo chamber. Exactly. She's made her own... She's made her own echo chamber. Her own little bubble. Social justice bubble. These people are all big babies. Agreed. Yeah, that's true. She's never discussed anything since she started. She's only ever declared her views. She avoids any form of discussion. It's a shame. Because I truly think that if she could have a discussion about her opinions and the things she's saying, I think that people could respect her more. Now, I'm not saying that we definitely would. But I think that that's a huge part of disliking someone or respecting someone. If they can have a conversation about something and say, I agree to disagree, this is my opinion, you can have yours, people usually aren't that disliked. People usually aren't that hated. But she can't do that. It's too bad. She was already crazy? Yeah, she was already crazy. She's been crazy for a while. It's whatever. She knows she'd lose an actual debate? Probably. Probably. I mean, the problem is, well, there's a lot of problems here, but the problem is that when you can't have a conversation about something that's happening or your stance, you can't defend your stance, why even make your own stance? Like, why even make your stance known if you can't defend it? I don't know. Money, I guess? Time for some Valheim? Not Valheim tonight. Let me just boot it up real quick. Just one tree. Just one tree. Valheim's good. Yeah, she called Liana delusional. I think she needs to look at herself in the mirror. Alright, guys. Let's move into the final topic of the night. So, Star Wars. Well, it's kind of been in free fall. Nothing with Star Wars lately has been going good. The High Republic is awful. We have the sequel trilogy. It was awful. The Mandalorian now is in complete shambles. Pedro Pascal isn't focused on the show anymore. We don't even know if he's coming back for a third season. Gina Carano got fired. Everyone's talking about Gina Carano, debating on is Gina Carano an awful person or not, which I don't think that Gina Carano is an awful person. We've lost Cara Dune. We've lost Baby Yoda. Because Baby Yoda now isn't even a main plot point of the show. We lost a good show, basically. It's dead. I mean, it's gone. It's done. There's no saving the Mandalorian at this point, I don't think. But now, Star Wars official Twitter account uses illustrations of John Boyega to virtue signal for black representation, ignoring Disney's treatment of the actor and the character. Now, I'm all for diversity. I think diversity, inclusion, very good things. Basis of them are very good. But it's companies like this that make you, that make people not want companies to talk about things like Black History Month or anything relating to history. Because the problem is that companies do things like this. Disney, for example, they're putting out this tweet on the official Star Wars account, you know, saying things like, we think that black representation's good. But then, in the past, they've also done things like removed a character. Well, they didn't remove him, but they lessened his role in a movie to pander to a specific audience. And they also minimized his face in the poster for a specific audience. So it says an illustration of Star Wars Finn shared by the brand's official Twitter account in honor of black representation has rung hollow for many audiences in the wake of Disney's treatment of both the character and his actor John Boyega. So it says on February 13th, in honor of Black History Month, the official Star Wars Twitter account shared an image of Finn as he appeared in The Rise of Skywalker, alongside a few words from the piece's artist on how storytelling is at the heart of being human, and black representation in all media gives us the opportunity to feel like we are a part of the world we are living in. So of course, that was part one. And then it says, stories can show how a character can overcome struggles and conflict, and to see someone like yourself in that story is a springboard for the imagination. By the way, can I just say this piece of art is actually pretty good. I think that this art is good. I think this artist did a good job. In conclusion to his thoughts, this is the artist, right? Yeah, the artist had wrote, introduce that to an eager mind of a child, and you can inspire the next generation of storytellers and beyond. Mel Milton, artist of this Finn illustration for Black History Month. I think the art itself is good. But of course, it says, however, given not only Disney's treatment of Finn throughout the sequel trilogy, but also actor John Boyega's constant criticisms towards the company, it's hard to see the sharing of Milton's piece by the official Star Wars Twitter account as anything more than an empty virtue signal. In June 2019, when a fan took issue with Boyega's appraisal of Spike Lee's She's Gotta Have It series as trash, and countered that John Boyega is the most useless character in the current Star Wars franchise, but you don't hear him say anything how bad the writing is, the actor replied that he has those discussions on set. when told by a fan in June 2020 that while he himself had no reason to be embarrassed by the rise of Skywalker, Disney did, Boyega enthusiastically agreed with the fan's assertion, writing, "Literally, that's their problem." Later, during a 2020 interview with GQ, Boyega slammed Disney for their treatment of Finn, telling them to not bring out a black character, market them to be more important in the franchise than they are, and then have them pushed to the side. "It's not good," said Boyega of Finn's character arc, which saw him drop from the franchise's potential new Jedi to nothing more than a glorified janitor over the course of Disney's 3 films. "I'll say it straight up." In the same interview, Boyega also noted that he considered the reordered character hierarchy that first took effect in The Last Jedi to be particularly disappointing and infuriating development. I thought that Finn was a cool character at first. We didn't see much of him in The Force Awakens. He was just kind of like a random character. It did seem, though, like they were setting him up to be pretty big and pretty important, and I thought that he could have been cool. I thought that the idea of like this... Anyway, I thought that his character idea was pretty cool. But they completely, like, ruined him. They completely sidelined him, and we know why. So it says, worst of all, Disney's promotion of Finn as a beacon of black representation is made all the more insulting in light of how they infamously shrunk Boyega's appearance on the Chinese poster for The Force Awakens in order to appeal to the country's more discriminatory views towards other races, particularly those with black skin. I thought that this was absolutely ridiculous. I've talked about this plenty of times. I do not think that it is okay that they just shrunk his character in the poster. It didn't make the poster look better. It's not like they had this drastic change in posters and maybe they just kind of like had to shift him around. No. We're talking about a poster that's almost exactly the same as the first one, and they shrunk his character to be one of the smallest character images in the whole poster. I thought that this was disgusting of them to do. Okay, this was not okay. Especially when they want to go around saying things like we, are all about diversity and inclusion. Well, you weren't when The Force Awakens came out. What do you mean that you're all for diversity and inclusion? You shrunk Finn's character in the poster of The Force Awakens to pander to a specific group of people. We have a situation where they had sidelined his character, okay? They had just so much potential with this character that was actually pretty decent, and completely decided to do a 180 and make him irrelevant as hell because, what's important to a company like Disney? Do you guys know what's important to a company like Disney? Sweet, sweet Chinese money. How is that okay, Disney? How is it okay that you get to come out and talk about how much you care about black representation, you care about diversity and inclusion, when you did things like made a character irrelevant because the character was black? Why do you expect people to not be upset with you when you shrink someone's face in the poster for a movie?
Star Wars Tragedy donated $5.
Thank you for the $5.
Holy crap, I actually got this stupid thing to work.
Hey, thank you for the $5 donation, Star Wars Tragedy. Much appreciated. How do they expect people to not be upset with something like this happening? Them shrinking his face in the movie poster for a specific region. How do you think we're gonna see that as you stand for representation and inclusivity? Because to me, that shows that you're just a fucking group of hypocrites. But guys, that's all that I had to discuss for this topic, and that was the last topic of the evening. Got a little heated at the end. The Anita topic following into this, no. Too heated for me. We talked about Star Wars, them virtue signaling for black representation, ignoring Disney's treatment of John Boyega, and of course Finn. I talked about Anita Sarkeesian being a hypocrite. We talked about CD Projekt Red unfortunately being hacked, and source codes for their games are being held for ransom. And I also talked about the latest Batwoman episode seeing ratings plummet and viewership drop. Before I end the stream, though, I'll go to the Q&A portion of the stream for about 5 to 10 minutes. So if you guys have any questions or topics you'd like me to discuss, please feel free to put them into the chat now. I would be happy to answer any questions you guys might have. Disney will always prioritize money over representation. Right. And my biggest problem with that is that I understand that they're a company, but don't try to virtue signal saying you care about these things when you don't care about those things. Don't. Just don't do it. Like, how are you not going to be seen as a hypocrite? How? How do you think that's going to make you look? You really think that's going to make you look good? Maybe it will make you look good to the people who forgot about situations like the poster debacle happening, the controversy. But for people who remember, we're not going to forgive you for that. Joel, The Last of Us. Guys, The Last of Us is being butchered right in front of our eyes. Disney filmed practically next to interim camps. Very true. They don't care, though, because they like money. I will say it again, Star Wars is doomed. Disney and Lucasfilm are evil, and we need the Doomslayer. We do need the freaking Doomslayer. I do really want Star Wars to be saved. I really do. I love Star Wars. I care about the franchise. I don't know what can happen now besides just making good stories that could save Star Wars. And I don't see them making good stories. I see Luke Skywalker being in The Mandalorian. I think that's really cool. But The Mandalorian's probably done now. So what's going to happen then? Yeah, James Earl Jones was completely forgotten on his birthday. How is that, caring about representation? Disney? Which, by the way, that really pissed me off. Ooh, that really made me mad. That they didn't wish him a happy birthday, but they'll wish everyone else a happy birthday except him. Why? Oof. Did you get your Blade Runner pop figures? No, not yet. They were still up for pre-order. Disney got a free pass with the Force Awakens poster because the fandom was so grateful to have Star Wars back. But The Last Jedi completely destroyed the goodwill of Star Wars fandom. Yeah. Yeah. It's a shame. How do we stop the SJWs? Trick question. You can't stop people from having an opinion. If people, are social justice warriors, I mean, that's their choice. You can't stop people from having an opinion. You just can try to stop them from ruining franchises, and that takes a lot of people to fight back against things. Yeah, they forgot Darth Vader's birthday. Yep, they did. Mufasa. Yep. Mufasa and Vader. They forgot about him. Yep. Our Lord and Savior Vader didn't even get any recognition for his damn birthday. It's very depressing. Tactical nukes. I doubt Karen Kennedy even knows who James Earl Jones is. Probably not. She's probably like, who the freak is that? Yep, they didn't wish him a happy birthday. Because Disney can't get credit for James Earl Jones or Billy D, that's why. I guess that's true. Like, they can't get credit for James Earl Jones, so why would they, like, wish him a happy birthday? But it's still gross and disgusting, and it's still, like, trashy. It's still pretty bad of them. The thing is SJWs have a disproportionately large voice and companies cater to them. That is true. That is true. I don't want any new bad Star Wars content. I want just good Star Wars. Can we have that, please? I've been playing... Well, when am I never playing it? But I've been playing the MMO lately, and I just look at it and I go, wow. I'm supporting so many bad things at once. I'm supporting EA, BioWare, Lucasfilms, Disney, Star Wars. And I just go, wow, I'm a really bad person. But then I just keep playing. The UK Star Wars Twitter wished him a happy birthday. Well, the main account didn't. And you know what? Screw them. Vera, any thoughts on WandaVision? I'm not going to give any spoilers, but WandaVision's been really good. I liked the first couple episodes of WandaVision when I did kind of my overview on how I felt about the first, like, what was it, 2 episodes that went up of WandaVision. I thought that those episodes were pretty good. I'm into WandaVision right now. I'm down for the ride. I'll be finishing it. It's kept my attention. And they used his voice in Rogue One. That's true, they did. That's true. It's just... It's so depressing that, like, this is what Star Wars is, and this is what Star Wars has become. No, not Final Fantasy for a choice of MMO. Final Fantasy MMO's good. I just could never, like, get into it. Like, I could never love it. For me, it's Star Wars The Old Republic all the way. I could never stop playing it. Really, I'll have to check out WandaVision. WandaVision is so good. For me, at least, so far, I've really loved it. I mean, I liked it at first when we saw, like, the sitcom stuff and they were making, like, the I Love Lucy and Bewitched jokes. I was so into those. But now it's actually became a Marvel show. It's not that, like, sitcom anymore. Now it's a Marvel show. And I think it's really good. I mean, I was intrigued at first. It's kept me intrigued. Every Friday, you'll catch me at 3 a.m. Well, maybe not 3 a.m. You'll catch me watching it as soon as I can. Yeah, they didn't wish Billy D. Williams a happy birthday either, because they're garbage. Lucasfilm is garbage now. WandaVision has gotten even more better now, after they've revealed more about... Yeah. I'm not going to read it out loud, because people might be like, la 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 la, not listening. But I don't want to give any spoilers. Please, no spoilers in chat. No spoilers. Because there are people who haven't gotten to see WandaVision yet. But if you haven't seen WandaVision yet, and you do have Disney Plus or anything, or if you know, surf the high seas, watch it. It's good. The first couple episodes were good. Honestly, though, like, again, with Disney, Marvel, it's one of those situations. It's one of those situations. Yeah. WandaVision, the story was good. You can read it online as well. That's what I did for the last episode before I got a chance to watch it. Which, again, you know, however you choose to watch it. If you support Disney Plus or, you know, surf the high seas. I like Captain Jack Sparrow. Okay. Will you be watching the Falcon and Winter Soldier March? I don't know. Like, I don't know. I'm so limited to what I support that's Disney and Marvel now. Like, I don't even know if I'll want to watch it. Honestly, like, I started WandaVision, so I'm going to finish it. Probably. But, yeah. I just, like, when it comes to Disney, Marvel, Star Wars, any of it, I don't really want to support these companies much anymore. So while I started WandaVision, you know, I don't think that there's any other movies or shows or projects of Disney and Marvel that anytime soon I'm gonna support. I mean, with Star Wars ditching like Gina Carano, and with Disney doing stuff like this, the whole let's virtue signal, it gets to the point where I get it. There are people that don't want to support them. And I don't want to either. Captain Jack Sparrow all the way. Jack Sparrow's amazing. But, I like Captain Jack Sparrow. Yeah, I like Captain Jack Sparrow. Let's sail the high seas together. Alright, you guys. I'm going to end the live stream here. Thank you all so much for stopping by tonight. I do appreciate it. I think that we had a fun night of anger, because that's unfortunately what tonight was. Lots of crappy situations like Star Wars virtue signaling, Anita Sarkeesian, of course, attacking people and being a hypocrite about it. But tomorrow, if you're watching this live, hi, thank you for stopping by. Tomorrow, 10 a.m. Eastern, I will have a new video up on the channel, so make sure to stop by and watch that. If you're not already part of our Discord, please make sure to join it. We are very active there. I do tag you all when I go live in case YouTube doesn't notify you. Follow me on social media like Minds and Twitter. Parler's back, but I'm not reactivating my Parler yet until I kind of see what substance is going on with that situation, what rules they've changed, how they're going to act now. Consider supporting the channel. You can via Patreon for just $1 a month. All of the links are in the description. I do really appreciate all of the support, but thank you all so much for stopping by, and have a fantastic evening, everyone.